Hey everybody, we want to welcome you to this retreat to nature, and we hope that you will
Stay a while and listen.
In this retreat to nature, we are going to be staying at the lovely Koreshan State Park near Fort Myer, Florida. When we come through the ranger station, we always make sure to get our book stamped for the park that we are going to be staying at. This is a simple way of having memories to look through and remember. The book we have also has sections to write in, like memorable events, laughable events, and then it also has things like checklists of what you did at the park, and it provides you with a multitude of different things that would be done at a park: bird watching, fishing, canoeing, boating, things like that. So it's an awesome thing to have, and later on in life you can pass it down to the kids and they can see what you did, and if they were there it can help them kickstart some memories. And now, without further ado, we'd like to welcome you to Campsite 26 at Koreshan State Park. After getting the campsite set up and that long journey all the way out here to this retreat to nature, we decided to take a few minutes and rest before we get on our way to the Koreshan Settlement. We'll show you guys the historical place and give you some information about it. Alright guys, so here are a few tidbits that you can keep in your back pocket for if you do visit this place. The Koreshan Unity Settlement was actually started in New York in 1880 by Dr. Cryus Teed. New York was not a really great environment for what Teed had envisioned for his community, so he decided he was going to find a much more habitable place, and that place just happened to be Estero, Florida, and he was moving there in 1894 to establish the Koreshan Unity Settlement. Koresh is the Hebrew translation for the name Cyrus, and it means shepherd. Teed took this very literally and wanted to lead his own flock. Here are some of the more fun and interesting facts about the community. The Koreshans believed the world was inside of a hollow sphere, and while we know that not to be true now, they even conducted experiments at the time to prove their beliefs. And at the time, they found that their experiments were successful in showing that proof. And hey, more power to them. But we all know that that is not the case. Outside of the world being contained in a hollow sphere, I really admire how Teed led his community. The fundamentals were rooted in education, arts and entertainment, and community involvement. The women of the Koreshan Unity Settlement also played a very large part in the labor force and the leadership inside of the settlement. It was almost unheard of that women were working and having leadership roles at this time in our country. Another great thing about walking around the historical site is that everywhere you go, they've got some type of signage, whether it be in the actual site or on the nature trails behind the site. There's signage that tells you, what's going on, what the buildings are. Also, on the nature trails, there's tree signs. So there's signs right next to some of the trees, and it gives you the species of trees.
I think it's broken.
And here we have the Koreshan Haunted Bridge. Ooh. About to fall. What's that? Oh, did you hear it, Hermione? I've got goosebumps. Look at my arms. I've got goosebumps. Hermione, Do you want to do paranormal investigation tonight?
So right here, it is a bit difficult to tell what's going on in the video because it is well camouflaged with the tree that it's in, but we're trying to get some decent pictures of an iguana. And there's also a second one in a tree to our left. You guys won't be able to see that one at all, but that second one noped right out of there when we rolled up. He was like, "You're not getting pictures, you're not getting videos, bye."
I hit him in the head. What is it doing? Eating? Let's go.
So for those of you who want to go on that nature trail hike / walk whenever you're at Koreshan, I just want to give you guys a little bit of information about that. So there are 2 different trails in Koreshan State Park. They start at the same place. One is going to be a loop that goes and brings you right back to the historic site, and the other is going to be walking along the river, and that takes you outside of the park and it lets you out a little bit further out from the starting point. So right here, you'll see that we're coming up on the end of the loop, and we're headed back into the historical site of the Koreshan Unity Settlement. And there's some turtles on both sides, which is pretty cool. And then Cameron decided he was going to take some video of inside one of the homes. And right here, you'll see some of that signage that I was talking to you about earlier. They've got tons of it everywhere. and it's really good education. They're enjoyable, super short, simple reads, but they give you a good grasp on what was going on with Dr. Cyrus Teed and what he was envisioning for the community and how everything was running when it was like up and in its prime. The kids really love this palm tree with the way it's leaning and how tall it is. They just absolutely went crazy over it. This part of the trail is a little bit further down the river trail, so we weren't on the loop. Me and Maylin decided to go out on our own hike. We took the kids back to the campsite and just decided to go for a nice stroll whenever the sun was going down a bit and enjoy it. And this part of our hike for the river trail, we ended at the on-site playground and bathroom facility right there. It's actually pretty close to the beginning of the ranger station. So yeah, it was an awesome little walk, and then we're gonna go into the campsite. So earlier in the video, whenever we went and showed you the entire campsite, you can see that we parked the car on the side. There's a tent right behind where the car was. Then to the left of that, there's two trees that are kind of inside of our tent, our campsite area. And we put our canopy right there. It's a 10 by 10 canopy and it fit really snug, but it was perfect. And on the other side of that is where the picnic table and the fire pit were. So everything fit. It was a little bit tight because of those two trees. But other than that, it was a wonderful, wonderful campsite. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's it. See you on the next retreat to nature.